I should probably do an intro, because it's the Grind Gaming Podcast that still doesn't even have a name, because every time I come up with something, it gets shot down, or someone's like, no, that doesn't sound good. So I'm like, well,
I was thinking of a name.
At this point, it's a meme. You have a name for me, Tyreek?
I was going to say, we could name the podcast the Pogcast.
No.
Wow, that's...
Hunter would lose his shit. He'd be like, Pog!
Alright.
The Podcast.
You can... Remember, you can always take the rotation name. I'm not taking that.
The rotation is good. The rotation is good. I like that.
I gotta bleep
I'll
that.
run it with something else.
I gotta bleep that. We haven't announced that.
Or you can call it the Nut Report.
Oh, the Nut Report.
Come get your nut.
Very good.
Come get your nut. Oh my
Get your
god.
nut.
Then I can use the graphic that Brendan made.
Yeah.
Nonetheless,
Alright.
welcome to the Grind Gaming Podcast. I'm your host, Maura, aka Miss Mischief. Today I'm joined by Tyreek.
Yes, hello.
And Reid.
Howdy.
These are the other two members of our content team. You guys know me and Hunter very well because we've done some of the Let's Play videos. I do the podcast. Hunter's been in just about every single podcast because energy. We're used to working with each other. So now you guys get to meet the rest of the content team. We're just a bit chaotic over here. Business side. We're like the ugly stepchild that business side of our company doesn't want to deal with.
Yes,
I don't know about
100%.
that.
We're the strange ugly stepchild. Although, yeah. But
I mean,
at this point, we're the face of the company, I would argue.
to be real, but like, what we do on the content division is very tied to the business side without getting too much into the, relationship.
I agree. There's a lot there. Like, we're trying to kind of get the grind name out there while our product is finishing up, and while our product is in development and getting. We're trying to have something. Well, our aim is to have something ready for the grind, not for the grind. Wow, for the eSport Awards, which catch us in the spotlight. What are they called? The spotlight reel highlight spots.
The eSports Spotlight Show.
There we go.
It's
the eSports Spotlight
shows.
Show. Our ad aired for the first time. What was it, last week?
Yes.
It was.
It was.
Yeah, something like that.
It
Or
was
like
It was the
right at the end.
27th.
I think
It was May 27th.
May 27th, and I believe that was the first.
It was last
one.
Wednesday.
Yeah, it's last Wednesday. And so that's kind of like us
Week
being
ago.
like, we're here, we exist, we're doing the things.
Yeah.
So we got a lot of good stuff planned. We're trying to have some stuff to show to people. Like, nope, I probably have to bleep that out. This episode's off to a great start. Tyreek ordered Uber Eats from McDonald's, and that was a shit show off camera.
He
And
gave me a lot. My second order's still coming.
now my brain is just out the window, and it's just like, there goes all sense of formality.
I mean,
It's
it's all
alright.
good. I mean, you gotta think about when this airs. Like we'll have the new show out.
Oh, that is true. Let's see. Is that your show, Reid?
Yeah, that's gonna be my show to kind of push out there to help promote and advertise esports and give people a way of getting recaps in a somewhat more condensed environment with some solid reporting. Because the goal of the show is to stick to the dream of unbiased and straightforward fact reporting, while also giving some opinion to build brand in a sense, because people like to hear opinions, but trying to keep it unbiased as much as possible and present the facts to the people who might be interested in esports and want to learn more. Because right now there's not too many quality daily shows outside of the ones I'm familiar with are Esports Talk, which is a pretty good one.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a few others out there, but goal is to hopefully fill the hole in that market with the show.
Yeah. Fill a void that really needs to be filled. It's like putting a cork in a open wine bottle.
Yeah.
It needs to exist. The world needs to know. And I don't mean that to over glorify the show or anything, because it is grind content and I'm super excited about it. But it's it's one of those things that it's like like anytime you try to find, well, at least for me anyway, trying to find good esports news that's, like, as you said, reliable, but also like a website that's just not spammy out the ass.
I gotta say,
Or biased.
yeah, uh, the way a lot of those websites are formatted, just I can't stand them. Like, I can't stand to use most esport news websites because it's just I hate the way they organize their website. I think it's just awful. It's so cluttered. It's
Mm-hmm.
just a nightmare for me to like navigate it and enjoy like getting news off of their sites. It's just horrific.
Yeah, I feel that. Getting news is just ugh. Like, hell, even like some just like non-esport news websites.
Yeah,
Like, I like to go to like AP News because because they're known to be the absolute like middle ground, unbiased. Other news agencies will use them, and but their website, it needs some help. Like, God, trying to go and like, because I found out about maybe some like, oh God, it's like there was like a riot in Japan or something. Like, and it was, I can't remember what it was about, but like I can't find the article anywhere, and I was like, oh, maybe AP News has it, and then nope, gone, nowhere to be found. But it's fine.
Okay, he's at my door. Give me 1 second. I'm sorry.
all right.
The second Uber
Yeah.
Eats delivery man.
A lot of those news sites just have the mentality, or at least like from my understanding, the mentality of like, if we put as much information and as much news stories, in as tight of a place as possible, on one screen, then
Yeah.
hopefully we'll get more clicks and more people will
what a
be interested in
wholesome-
what we
wholesome
present.
man.
Why would
I
happen?
was talking to him. I messaged him, and I guess he didn't read it. But he got to my door, and I asked him, like, before I even grabbed the bag, I was like, sir, have you eaten today? Like, have you eaten anything? And he said, no, I'm going to eat right after this. I was like, well, if you want this McDonald's, you can have it. It messed up my order. So what's in there is, probably 3 large fries, 3 McChickens, and actually, I'm not going to tell you my order. I'm not fat. Never mind. But I just gave him
Bro,
a
I
tip,
feel
so-
that. Yo, you want to talk McDonald's orders? I get 2 cheeseburgers, a large fry, and a 10-piece chicken nugget.
He said he loves
I'm-
fat test, so he's blessed.
Damn.
Nice. That's a
at you.
good deed you did there.
Being
Yeah,
wholesome,
I
paying
didn't
it
then
get
again-
forward.
Then again, Uber Eats messed that up pretty hard.
Yeah,
I
they
don't know
did.
why.
Did they
made me
charge
make a
you
whole
for
nother order.
it?
No, they charged 1 time.
Huh.
I mean, unless
Thanks
they
for the
charge
free
me
food,
my
Uber
PayPal, yeah.
Eats.
Yeah, thanks for the free food,
Yeah,
Hey,
thanks for the
that's-
free food. Damn.
I mean, wait, what? Bleep that out.
Doubtful Uber Eats is going to be listening to this.
Whoever's listening to this episode, I sincerely apologize. We're all over the place. We're doing a late night recording, not because we're on a time crunch or anything. It's just when people were free.
I was thrown onto this last minute.
Yeah. I do appreciate you being
But
here,
I'm
Ian.
rolling with it. I'm glad to be here.
Because I originally wanted oh God, what does he like to be called now? I think he likes to be
Free?
called James.
No, she's
I
talking
think
about
The
James.
big one?
Yeah,
The big chunkus?
the
Or
big one, the big Kahuna, the big one. I originally planned to have I originally planned for it to be him and Reid tonight, but with all the business side stuff going on, it's just best to just leave him be at the
Yeah.
moment.
I'm kind of stressed. He's getting great.
And then
Please. The other thing is he's got so much. The man's sleep deprived. Let's be real.
oh God, he's
He's
sleep
been sleep
deprived.
deprived for so
Yeah,
long.
and I mean he's
Okay.
he's busting his ass to get all sorts of things done, and I mean, at the end of the day, he kind of needs to rest up.
Gotta respect it, though.
Yeah, I
He's
mean,
on the grind.
yes, he is.
We're all on that grind. Not nearly as intense as he is, but yeah,
Yes, he is.
man needs to rest.
For a person who started the grind, he definitely grinded.
He's been on the grind a lot longer than we have.
Yeah.
But I want to have a special episode. I didn't want to do back-to-back episodes for James. So as you said, Reid, that he could rest. I kind of wanted to have a special founders episode with him and Silas, the other founder of Grind Gaming. I wanted to have a special episode with them, and I want to talk about like the future of grind and like how it feels to finally kind of like announce to the world, as I said earlier, we're here, we're doing stuff, we're gonna we're gonna blow up. Fingers
Yeah,
crossed we blow up.
I'll be real honest. You're gonna probably have to wait a month to get that out because there's just too much stuff there.
I have to
Like,
record
that's
at
just
10
going
p.m.
on.
I will stay up as late as I fucking have to.
What is sleep?
What is sleep? I'm amped up on migraine medication and Red Bull. I can do this. I can do all things
dangerous
through
combo,
caffeine.
but
Oh,
She's-
please. She drinks all sorts of crazy caffeine drinks.
she's
Good
fine.
God. What is it you drink? The 150 milligram stuff?
Venom?
Like, holy
No,
Christ.
not Venom. It's something. Oh god, I don't know if I can say it on here. But fuck it. I drink Sneak. I like
Oh.
their strawberry watermelon flavor. It tastes like liquefied Sour Patch Kids.
Dude, it's
and,
got like
like-
150 milligrams of caffeine. They
Yeah, per-
they say the
per-
recommended amount of
Jeez.
caffeine a day is like 400 milligrams, is what I remember.
Third of your
Yeah.
caffeine intake right there.
Yeah, yeah, but she'll drink like 2 of those plus like
Oh
a
my
few
gosh.
Red Bulls, and it's like,
And then
That
have a
was
cup of
that
coffee.
was what?
And then,
Yeah.
and then have an actual cup of coffee.
That was one time.
oh,
That
You
was
gotta
just
top
during
this
that
off with
one
some caffeine.
convention. I was so sleep deprived.
dude, you're like freaking me out. I'm like, Christ, we're gonna have a heart attack here? Like,
No,
God.
it's fine. It's fine.
dude, but it's
a
even
good
worse.
time.
Like, oh, who was it? There was someone who was telling me that he drinks like, or he knows someone who drinks like 300 milligram caffeine drinks.
Oh shit!
like, a
I know who
day.
you're talking about. It's
I don't remember who.
Oh god, he's back from the club.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
fuck,
Bates' friend, but I don't know who it was.
Oh
And
shit! Well,
it was
I could have sworn
absolutely-
that Bates said that he did it too.
no. He drank one of them. I forget what the drink was called.
I want to say it
But
was
it's-
Rain, because that's like 300.
Oh, you might be
No,
right. I think
That's
that
like 250. It's 250.
whatever it
300.
was, it was like 300 milligram like caffeine drink, energy drink, and he would drink like one of them like on game day, but he was saying like he would shake from it. Like it was so intense.
Moral of the
Like-
story is drink water, kids.
Yeah, honestly.
Drink water.
Energy drinks are nice, great as they sound.
Not great for your heart, I will say that.
Drink water.
But I will have you know, I'm down to at most 2 Red Bulls a day. only
Nice,
about-
nice.
It's only about 220 milligrams of
You
caffeine.
know, just like half a year.
I'll-
Caffeine is half my calorie
She
intake
probably
for the
down
day,
some both at the
honestly.
same time. Just so, toss them.
Yeah.
But
Crush them
Ever
on the
s-
forehead.
blueberry Red Bull though, it hits different than regular Red Bull. I will say that.
Really?
It is my favorite flavor to ever exist is blueberry Red Bull. But then
I
again,
think-
I'm also a I'm a hoe for blueberry flavor.
I knew what you were gonna say. I heard it.
I
coming.
was gonna
like,
say,
oh.
but I was like, well, I'm gonna have to
I was
bleep
gonna
that.
say beep, but I said beep. Okay, no.
I was gonna
But
say,
I think my favorite flavor of like any like monster. I'm not okay. I just gave myself away.
okay, if we're gonna
Any
talk
energy
monster flavor, bro.
it's the
the,
Java bean. The Java bean is
Oh
All-time
God,
favorite.
no! Get out of
it's-
here with
it's
that.
Just, it's just so good. It tastes like
See,
Pacific
I-
Punch flavored monster. It tastes
it's
exactly
literally
like
coffee.
Hawaiian Punch.
I really just can't relate at all to that. I just don't drink energy drinks really at all.
Reid is like, yeah, you know, I got
Yeah.
H2O on deck.
Well,
you know, it's in
the only
fridge.
reason I drink energy drinks to start with, well, 'cause I tried Monster at one point, like just the base flavor, and like I didn't really like it personally.
That one tastes like you're guzzling gasoline.
Well,
You drinking
it just
acid.
did. It just didn't
Battery
appeal
acid.
to me. It just didn't appeal to me. But like then there was like free Red Bull presented to me,
Mm.
you know, and I was just like, hey, why not try it? But you know, eventually I kind of forced the flavor down. I don't really enjoy them, but like
I feel that. That's how I was for so long, and then I got to college, and I'm the type of individual that I will sleep 12 hours a day, and it is not enough. So
See, I
need
can't do
I need
that.
to pick me up.
I don't need sleep though.
It's
Like, I can-
gotten
I
real
can-
bad. I'll either sleep like 20 hours straight. The longest I've slept was 22 hours straight.
It's a
but, like,
whole day.
so
I know.
like
But
It's a
then
whole
it's either I sleep a whole lot or I don't sleep at all. And it's
I've
a
done-
terrible balance.
I've done 18. Like I've slept 18, but that was after staying up for like
Yeah.
40 hours straight.
Oh,
So like,
child's play.
I mean,
I'm a menace to society. No one can stop me.
that's the hardest I've ever been, or that's the longest I've ever been able to sleep. Cause like I typically function like when the sun comes up, like I typically will rise.
You
Especially.
merely adopted the darkness. I was born in the
I
darkness.
was born.
Raised by it.
Ooh.
Molded by it.
Yeah, no, I don't really sleep that long though. In terms of like, when that sun comes up, like it's time to go. It's daytime.
Wow,
That's like backwards for me.
you're on like a farmer clock.
When the sun comes up, it's time to go to bed. Like, I've stayed up for too. I've stayed up for too long.
I feel that
never
the
been
sun
able to
goes
do
down
that.
and I'm like, oh, what a beautiful afternoon.
See,
Time to get up.
I used
What's
to
that hitting my eye?
Yo,
try
it's
to
the
do
blinds.
that, man. Ugh.
My sleep clock is inverted naturally.
See, I can't do
Like,
that. I really can't.
I'll-
I'll try.
I don't know when it happened. I honestly don't know when it happened. I think it started in high school or something.
Dude, I've tried.
One
Like,
day.
I just can't do it. Like,
It just
I'll
happened.
just wake up. Like, if I stayed up to like 4 a.m., I would just wake up like in 3-4 hours. Like even 6. Like, yeah. I mean, I can't sleep that. I couldn't sleep that long after it.
If I'm in a league game and the sun's coming up, I'm not going to sleep. For the
well, but
next day.
there's also like I have a theory, and then there's something else that like is to be said. It's like it's something that I've heard growing up that's like every hour of sleep that you get before midnight counts as double. So if you go to bed at like 9 p.m., then you're already like 6 hours.
Yeah,
Solid.
I've always
That
been
sounds
told that
dangerous
the
stuff.
sleep you get before 12 is the best sleep you'll get. Like any sleep
Yeah.
after that, it's just not as good. I mean, I don't really know the scientific reasoning or why people say that. That's just what I've heard.
I don't know. Like because there's a lot of people that I talk to that I'm like, hey, are you like a night person? And they'll go, oh yeah, I'm a night person. But typically, then what I ask is, I know this is really strange, but it's like, what time were you born? Like I was born at like 11:44 p.m. And I'm an absolute night owl. Like
Really?
I've talked to my sister. She was born at like 8 in the morning. She's a morning person.
See, that's
I'm
funny.
half the devil.
Well,
born at-
I was born at like 11:57. I
At
was
night?
born right before. No, right before noon.
Oh, in the morning.
Right before noon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then my theory still applies.
I suppose so. Yeah.
A.M.
Yeah.
A.M.
Right.
You're a morning person. Congratulations.
Wow.
But not like my brother. He's a night person, and he was born late in the evening.
Mm.
My mom was born in the morning. She's a morning person.
See,
I don't know. It's just a weird theory that I have. It's like when you're born, that's like when your internal clock starts.
I suppose. I mean, for me personally, I've had to adjust a lot and have had to come to like working at night more because of like gaming and esports. Like just dealing with people, you can't get them during the day. Like
Yeah.
it's so impossibly hard. And I mean, I've slacked on this before because like I mean, I say I only am able to get up. I only get up when the sun comes up. But I mean, there are times when I'm able to sleep past it, or something goes wrong. I'm like super stressed.
Mhm.
And I'm able to like hold out, like
Oh,
past the
God.
sunrise. But like,
If I'm stressed, forget sleep.
yeah, but like I know
It's gone.
personally, I've had to adapt a lot to like working more at night in terms of like hours and such to like
Yeah.
complete tasks or get in contact with people because like people won't get up in the morning to do something, so then I have to go through my day like doing the task, and then come evening everyone's finishing up their day, and it's like, oh, now I can finally get a hold of them, and it's time to do the nightly routines, of like different work or meetings that need to be had. It's just kind of a
Yeah.
weird situation because like I don't know, I feel like in the amateur esports scene it's a lot of this like I guess the word is like jankiness. It's like it's so untraditional when you look at like traditional business or any other sort of like working condition.
Mm-hmm. I feel that. I definitely feel that. Because since my sleep schedule is back on its weird 12-hour clock, I'll go to bed at like midnight. I'll wake up at exactly noon. And then I kind of like, I do my dailies in Animal Crossing. I get some editing done, and then by that time it's already like 4:30 p.m. and my mom's off of work, and then my brother's off of work. And so that's then like between that time and when they go to bed to get started for the next work day, like I'll spend that time with them. And then once they go to bed, then I come back to my computer and I go to work. And so then I'll start editing like the podcast or like any content we put up. It's weird. I don't know. It's kind of one of those things where it's like you can kind of one of my favorite things ever that someone said, I think it was like, it's nice being up at 4 a.m. because it's dead silent and no one will bother you. You could stare at a wall for 2 hours and no one...
And it's like the internet
and no one can
pristine.
say anything.
The internet is pristine at night because everyone's asleep.
Oh, yeah.
No one's on the internet.
Every normie person is asleep. And then you can just fall down rabbit hole after rabbit hole on YouTube. And like, I don't know. Like, there's just something to be said about working at 2 a.m. I just get in a zone and then it's boom, I'm done. I don't know. I work better at night. It's the weirdest thing.
I've had
late night snacks.
I mean, I've definitely had some very successful like work hours from like the 4 to like 8 a.m. slots. But 2 a.m. I've never like been able to successfully work at 2 a.m. Been able to do it at 4, but
2 a.m.
I've had more sleep at that
like
point.
2 a.m. is like the winding down kind of like, all right, like the late night gamers that I play with, like they're going to sleep, everything's done. Like I took the trash out, like everything's done. I'm probably just gonna get in bed and watch YouTube. Not even go to sleep. Not even go to sleep. Just get in bed and watch YouTube.
Yeah, I mean,
and I'll just be in bed watching YouTube for like 3 more hours.
2:30 a.m. is about when I make the decision. Am I gonna stay up until about like 4:30, or am I gonna like go shower and go to bed?
Am I gonna hate myself?
Usually it's I'm gonna sit at my computer for another 2 hours.
God, no. 2:30 is basically like the kill switch to go to sleep, because it's like at 2:30 it's like, all right, I finish up whatever I'm doing here and like it's time to go to bed. Like if I that is absolutely.
I just feel wrong too, because like my girlfriend goes to sleep and then I'm just like, well, she's asleep. She goes to work in the morning, and I'm just like still up. I don't know. Like when everyone goes to sleep, I just feel kind of like, should I be in bed right now? Like I like question myself. Like, is this right for me to stay up for this long?
Well, like when quarantine all started. Or
the
Q word, when the Q word started. Like, my sleep clock, it was so fucked. Because I was still on Central Time, because Wyoming's in Mountain Time, which is only like an hour behind, but it's still fucking with my head. And so, like, there were times where, like, I was getting up at, like, 4 or 5 p.m., right when my mom and my brother were getting off of work.
Yeah.
And I'd hang out with them. And then, like, I would see them get up for work the next morning. And then I'd go to bed.
See, that's
that
funny.
Was a bad time.
100%. That's exactly how it would be. You hear, like, the dishes clacking around in the morning. Someone's washing the dishes or something.
Yeah, I know it's like 7 a.m. when my mom's up and she's got the news on and she's cooking breakfast. And I'm just sitting here and I'm like,
bacon. Like, okay, let me go to bed.
So at that point, I'm like, do I want to make the fact that I'm still awake known, or do I just want to sit down here silently?
Yeah, no, you say that. See, like for me, it's kind of totally off in a sense, because like my freshman year of college, like I got into a really good routine of like, I would go to sleep at like I would feel like tired, like exhausted, like I needed to go to sleep at like 9 p.m. Like even upwards to like 8 p.m. And I would wake up at like 5, 6 a.m. like fully alive and awake and like ecstatic and ready to go. And like I would just start the day there for like all my work and such for my classes. And like I hella enjoyed that routine, although I've never been able to quite get back into it since then, because I fell into it for like that entire year and it was freaking awesome. I was hella productive. But then I started to get more into esports and other such, and I started to kind of push back that time a little bit more every time, because it was just a lot more convenient to be able to meet with people come the afternoon. Because like at 9 o'clock, most of the time, most people were just getting on, to like be able to do anything, because they were just finishing homework or something like that, or
work,
or finishing work or anything like that.
I feel that because I got into a similar schedule this last semester, because I made the executive decision, whether you want to call it bad or good, to have 8 a.m.s.
Yeah.
And I'll say, I actually did enjoy 8 a.m.s. Because, like, no one, like, on a college campus, no one is around.
Dude, oh yeah, it's
Like,
so dead.
like having it starting with an 8 a.m. versus starting with a 9 a.m. campus is so much less chaotic at 8 a.m. than at
It's
9. It's so
it's really
weird.
at like 9 to 10 o'clock hours that the college campus like comes alive, and I mean like 10 o'clock is really like the sweet period of like everyone's kind of starting their day at that point. At least in
Mm-hmm.
my experiences, because like when I went to 10 o'clock, like everyone was there, like the day had started. Because like you
Yeah.
were interacting then with the 8 a.m.ers, and most people also kind of started around then. Like there were some like your
Right.
afternoon hawks where they would just come in at like 1 or 2, and, like that's when they started the day,
Yeah.
but they didn't leave till like 6 or something like that. Um, which is a pretty tragic trade off in a sense, but it ain't that bad if that's what you are able to
Yeah.
do.
Honestly, I liked having 8 a.m.s because it was like by the time that like the camp by the time campus was coming alive, like I was maybe like already halfway through my day.
Yeah.
And so then and then you typically are done around noon, and then you can just go home and do it, and then you have the afternoon to yourself. Like my roommates, my previous roommates, they all had classes like all throughout the day. They wouldn't be done until like 2. So I had or like sometimes they weren't home until like 4 or 5. And even then they'd go back to campus to the library to study and whatnot. But like it was weird cuz like I'd have clear until like 11 o'clock noon until like when they come home at 4 or 5 just to
Mm.
myself.
Yeah. Prime time.
No,
Yeah.
that is prime production time
Prime
because
time.
about like 4 or 5 is when I'm like, a nap sounds really good right now.
But you
but
can't. You cannot give
but
in.
but by then like I'm already like tired, but I'm done with like all of my homework, with all my assignments for that day. Some like even bleeding into the next day. I've watched my content cuz like I'm a weirdo. I don't eat dinner until like 8 p.m.
Mm.
That's just my internal.
All right.
I'm such a strange human being.
Yeah, I don't know.
Can
Like,
I
I,
can I say something
mm.
really like off topic, but like also kind of like because we're all PC gamers here, you know.
PC Master Race.
PC Master Race, yes. Of course, of
I'm
course.
sorry.
See, that's
Continue.
so funny
One
to
of us,
say.
okay. No, like that's literally what this is
Yeah.
about. Okay, so recently, my cousin I convinced my cousin, haven't got my brother yet. He's still like, oh, Xbox is gonna take over. Like they're making the next Xbox is
No.
gonna be computer. Like PC gaming's
Never
done.
gonna
Oh, blah blah
happen.
blah. I'm like, okay, like they're just now catching up. Congratulations. but my cousin just got a PC, and he used to play Xbox and played Halo on Xbox, and he just got the Halo collection on
Yeah.
Steam.
Oh my
And
god.
he said, I have never like poked my head around a corner and died instantly in my life. Like he said it's like coming from Xbox moving to PC, it's a completely different world. Like
Yeah.
PC people, we don't. It's not a game. Like it's a game, but it's not. Like we don't play around. Like we're here.
I mean, I
Like
suppose, but like,
you just. I mean, like because I've never experienced that either. Like in Halo, like one tapping somebody, that's crazy. Like it takes a while to kill somebody in Halo because the shield.
I
and
mean, I don't
stuff.
really play
But he,
Halo. I mean, I I don't really have a extensive gaming past and such like that, but I mean, I feel like at the highest levels, I mean, that's gotta like, I mean, when you get into the pro scenes, it's gotta exist. I mean, I don't see how it not. Maybe like in the more like, like competitive, but like, casuals leagues and such like that. Maybe like
yeah.
that's the reality of it, but like it's got to be at the higher leagues on console that they do that kind of stuff.
100%. Yeah.
Um,
Mhm.
yeah. I mean, for
It's just so different for him. Like he's having a very hard time. Like he's trying to play on the keyboard. He's trying to get his sensitivity down
yeah,
and all that stuff.
it.
Like he doesn't know if he wants to be a wrist
Yeah.
aimer.
Well, see, like for me, I started off playing like on the PlayStation 2, and then I like
Mm.
I
Or PlayStation 1 for me.
yeah, I like started playing on the PlayStation 2 some very very lightly, and then eventually like I just stopped playing at all, did other things. I went more to sports and other such, but then I went and got the PlayStation 4 eventually, and that's when I started to play more
Ooh.
games and such. But in the meantime, like you said the PC Master Race thing, and that one kind of made me laugh because like I play because I played more mobile games with like the
Mhm.
console
Oh.
than I did PC for the longest time.
You said
Mobile,
MOBA?
no,
Oh,
mobile,
Oh.
mobile.
yeah.
Okay.
So like I would play other mobile games.
Clash of
Yeah, I
Clans.
mean but that I mean
Get out of
Yes,
here with
the
that was the
that.
OG.
thing when I was like that was the thing back then.
When Clash Royale came out too, I
Oh
was on
yeah,
that.
like I mean Clash of Clans,
That was
Clash
great. I
Royale.
still I still have it. That's on
I
my phone
mean
right now. I still
I
have it.
mean yeah, no, like I have a sweet spot for those games because I spent a lot of time playing those with like different friends and such like that. But I went
At lunch,
yeah, I went from
cafeteria.
I guess console to like mobile to console again with the PlayStation 4 and then eventually got a PC and like it was definitely a crazy adjusting period whenever your entire life basically is like you're either
Yeah.
using like your hands, um, or your fingers to control something on like a phone screen, or you're using them to hit different buttons, or joysticks on a controller to all of a sudden you're, holding a mouse and you're having to click the buttons and such like that. Yeah,
WASD, and you forget what button
yeah.
to press
I
and all
guess it
that.
was kind of an easy transition over because I like started off playing like League of Legends in a sense. So like
Yeah, that's what I
it was
started off with.
just QWER, and like DF and some of the other keys, but it wasn't anything like too bad. But I guess I
Yeah,
never had that shock of turning the corner and getting headshot right off the back.
yeah, like the huge switch. Because for me, I think the first game I played, like ever, was it was either Dragon Ball Z or Okid Shadow King. I don't know. It was one of those two.
Weeb.
Yeah, Okid Shadow King was like my
I'm
first
kidding.
like
I can't talk.
Final Fantasy kind of like game. I don't know, so to speak. It was a single player game. It was an RPG. Like, can't really explain it. I don't really remember. But yeah, and then my dad brought home an Xbox and Gears of War was just coming out. Like the first Gears of War was just coming out, and
Mm.
that like changed my life. I got on a team and everything. I was like my first like really competitive kind of
Mm,
scene as a
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
gamer, because I got on a team and like my dad like would take me to these tournaments and stuff, and then like it kind of like took me away from my school and stuff. Like I started doing kind of bad in school. Like I didn't like really focus on school. I never really did my homework because I was always just.
Yeah.
And then my dad like took the Xbox away from me, so I had like a whole phase of like middle school to like freshman year. I didn't play the game at all. Like like
Ooh,
I was taken away. He
that's
like
like
he just took it away
that's
from me.
like
Like
prime game
I couldn't
time.
do anything, and then I really focused on my school, and then I met this guy sophomore year, Hunter. I'm never gonna forget this guy. He changed my life. He got a new computer, and he gave me this little crappy laptop, and it had League installed on it, and that's when I started playing League. And like it
What
just
kind of computer was it?
it was like a Windows like 2005, like some really old
Oh.
laptop, like some super old laptop. It had Minesweeper on it and everything.
Oh
But
God.
I was playing League at like 30 frames
Ancient.
Dude,
without a
League will
mouse.
do that,
I had the
man.
mouse pad.
I gotta give credit to Riot. I mean, it's pretty smart on their end of a business to like have their product work on such low like
It's a yeah,
such
it's
low
Yeah.
crazy.
specs. I mean, it works. I mean, people that get that game who have low spec computers because they're like, I want to play a game, and like this is one that'll work, and it's pretty fun, and it's competitive. But
Another thing though
Mm.
is like experiencing like the online world of like console and the online world of like PC. It's two vastly different things. Like on console, it's all about Call of Duty. Like Call of Duty's like the biggest thing, and you hop on PC, like Call of Duty's nothing. Like Call of Duty's like
oh
non-existent.
yeah,
Like no one. I mean, like it's not non-existent, but
well, I
like
mean, it
there's
was.
some stuff you haven't even heard of. Like there are games you won't even like hear
I
about
mean,
or like
COD
see on
COD hadn't
console.
come to
Like.
PC but a few years back. I mean, it really. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
in reality, it kind of was irrelevant to PC players because of the fact that like the only
Yeah.
way you're gonna play it is if you have some sort of like I guess emulator or something like that, or you got a console. I mean, that's the only way you're gonna play Call of Duty on PC for
Mm-hmm.
the most part. Um,
It's just I just find it crazy to think about. Like I feel like the console side of esports kind of took off
oh, it
first
did.
before before like the PC side. But it's crazy because like the PC, like they're the OGs, like like they're the OG
Well, I
gamers,
mean,
But all like the tournaments and everything started on
I mean,
console, like Call of Duty and
I
like
guess that
Gears
kind
of
of
War and
depends on
like
like where you're from.
I guess there was like there's
Yeah, but
StarCraft and
like
all that,
StarCraft
those
never
type of
really
things.
hit off in the United States.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, that's what.
hmm They're everything in
I
Japan.
mean, Korea. The Asian countries that hit off really well, and I mean that's why they're ahead of us in esports development. 'Cause, I mean,
Yeah, it's still
yeah,
going off. People still
oh
play
yeah,
StarCraft One.
but like,
That's
I
crazy.
mean that's why Korea's a little bit ahead in terms of like esport development and other such,
hmm
compared to the U.S. in some regards. But I mean, I definitely think COD was like the turning point in a lot of ways to the United States, like you said. I mean that console esport is kind of what like started, in my opinion, the esport industry and like in the United States, it started to help getting a lot of people interested. Because I mean, that's what MLG was founded
Yeah,
upon, if I'm not wrong. Was Call of Duty esports. I mean, they had the Call of Duty World Championship and all that. I mean, that was the first esport I had ever heard
the
of.
first uh the first nuke,
Yeah,
that was ever like
I mean,
that was
I
crazy,
mean
dude. The first nuke that
that
was ever done.
that was the first esport I ever had heard of or experienced before, and like could really like see in a sense. And so, like, I mean, for me, like COD is an esport that I'll always look upon with like a smile because of the fact that it has done a lot behind the scenes. I mean, League of Legends is running with it today, but I mean, COD definitely had the mantle of the top esport for the longest time, and they've done a lot
I feel
overall.
I feel like I feel like what we're talking about kind of like that's kind of like I mean, we said it without saying it, but to be like to get up there like on a team, like you kind of have to be there like when the game comes out. Like to be honest, like if you're not like a beta tester, I mean like not to say like people who aren't beta testers or people who don't play the game like before the game's released don't get onto pro teams, but it's like if you're not there at the start, you're probably not going to be on a pro team or you're probably not going to be like
The earlier and the
get
sooner
picked
you
up.
start on a
Yeah.
new game,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
the
Yeah,
better you're gonna
I
be
mean,
down the line. If
Yeah.
you want to go pro for
I
that
would
game,
say
oh
You
man.
you better been you better have been watching it since alpha. You better have
so.
been there since alpha.
Yeah.
You better know
So like
everything about
every
that
game
game.
you play, like you learn something about how to play games better. Typically you can take something,
Mhm.
whether it's how to process information or like some sort of critical strategy from like one game to another. Something like that.
Cooldowns.
Like how to maintain your abilities from like League of Legends. You might have find a way to cross reference that with something on Call of Duty or something. Like there are things you can take away from every game to like help yourself improve overall, like in the competitive atmosphere. Um, and so, like, I mean, honestly, like, in terms of people going pro in esport, I would honestly say it's more about like just when you started playing games in a sense because it helps you in terms of like just getting more and more experience with how different games
It's a
work.
game
Yeah, I mean,
sense.
it's a game sense thing. Along with that, I mean, you are right in a sense that the earlier you start playing the game, the better off you're going to be, and that is totally true. I mean, you look at the pros today in all of the games, and most of them did not start playing, 2 years ago. You know,
Yeah, they've been doing it
they've.
for so long.
I
Like
mean, you
everybody
look at
has
League
been
of
doing it
Legends
for so
pros, you
long.
don't really see people who just started playing, like 3 years ago.
There's not really there
I
hasn't been
mean,
a brand new like pro person that's
most
popped up.
players, most
I mean
players are
there are,
season
but
one,
like
season two, vets or like season three even. And I mean, that's just reality of it. It's like, I mean, the earlier and more experience you gain, the better off you're gonna have a chance at, getting your shot at pro.
but it's not even just that though. It's like you might be that good. You might be up
Yeah.
there with the pros, but
I
like
mean,
no
there are
one's
some
looking at you.
prodigy players, who.
There's not like avenues,
Yeah, I
for you
mean,
to
there
get
are some
spotted.
prodigy players who, just like pick up that controller, pick up the mouse and keyboard, and like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
And they're
I mean, they're
nasty
just
and they're cold.
instantly gods at it. But for the most part, I don't think that really exists. I mean, it's just like a saying
Mm-hmm.
goes. I mean, I don't know. I mean, when talent works hard, like it's hard to beat talent. But I mean, when hard work can beat
Yeah.
talent, when talent doesn't work hard.
That sounds like a classic anime trope.
Yeah, it's like something.
It's like Sasuke
Master
versus
Roshi would say.
Naruto.
Yeah, like
You got
I've been doing my
talent,
whole
then you
life.
got someone who works so hard just because he wants to become the fucking Hokage.
Well, I mean, they
That's
say
like-
that
that's
all
like
the time in sports.
literally, that's like
Yeah,
My
it's
Hero
true.
Academia 101.
Oh, God.
Like,
Deku
having a
versus
superpower and getting a
Bakugo,
superpower.
goddamn.
Yeah, 100%. That's 100%.
I mean,
My Hero
that's all I
Academia.
ever heard
I've
growing
been
up,
chasing you
like
this whole
playing
time.
sports was, like they'd be like, hard work beats talent any day of the week, but they'd always forget to say, like if talent works hard,
talking about
hard
practice.
work has to work even harder, to outwork that talent.
Yeah.
But I mean that.
Like talent has to put in 100%,
Yeah.
but hard workers will have to put in like 150.
Yeah, I mean,
1,000.
at
Yeah.
the end of the day,
Wait,
you
yeah.
gotta just work hard to get where you need to be and get to the goals that you want to achieve.
It's about how much you want
Yeah,
it.
definitely.
There's a lot to be said about that.
Yeah, no.
But skills learned from video games, I think the best one I think I've ever learned is just how to grind out XP.
Yeah.
Yeah, farming
Farming for-
anything.
I got-
Like
I think I
Animal
got that
Crossing,
from, like,
farming
either
bells.
Borderlands or Warframe.
Harvest Moon, literally farming.
Yeah.
Friggin' Overwatch, farming XP. Like, ugh.
Yeah. Farming them chests, man.
Always farming. Always farming.
The loot boxes.
But there are some people who they're like, oh, strategy and da 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 da. Like people like who can I say? I don't know, because Brendan likes to yell at me when we play R6. Like strategy and like that kind of stuff. I don't know. I'm the type of dumbass
You can
who
suck at aiming, but
they're
you're
like-
good at it. You have a plan.
Brendan yelled at me for aiming down sights for being ADS. That's just because that's my default. My brain isn't like, oh, I'm a squishy little marshmallow. No. I'm used to being the tank with heavy armor and like
Reinhardt.
yeah. Well, I don't like playing as Reinhardt, but like being like Skyrim style. When you think about the different classes that way, I'm a hardcore tank through and through. Heavy armor and a fucking warhammer, and I just go in there and I just start laying waste. Any game where you take me out of that comfort zone of being able to be a tank, I am instantly just like, guess I'll die.
I can relate.
All right.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm usually a rogue, kind of like I got a sneaker. I have to be able to go invisible. Like if there's a character that goes invisible, sign me up. Oh my gosh, mind games. I love it.
The second you said rogue, my brain went D&D.
Yeah. Oh, if we did
I-
a D&D thing, we could easily.
I would love to do a
we could
D&D
easily,
campaign.
Like, record it.
It'd be
and
interesting to
podcast
see
it.
what everyone chooses, like class-wise and
The big
alignment. Like I love. Oh my god, what would the big one be?
Cleric. Oh no, I
I was
don't even
about
know,
to
like
say
a cleric or a bard or something. I don't even know.
Cleric. Nah, he'd be a cleric. He'd be a cleric or a druid. Brendan, I feel like, would be a sorcerer or a wizard.
She could do that.
I'd 100% be a rogue or.
What would Hunter be? Hunter would be a bard, I think.
Would he?
Hunter
have
is
a
so
D&D.
funny.
I mean, he is, but I don't know
We
if
need to
you
make it
play that.
It would be fun. Like first of all, it's content. We could podcast it.
Well, personality-wise, that's how I'm aligning these people. Based on what they play, I don't know. Because personally, I would be a tank. However, I also like playing as warlocks. I
You
love.
can be a tanky warlock.
Yeah, you can.
be a tanky warlock. Yeah.
I love. Oh my god, my favorite thing ever. Anytime I play D&D with my other friends, they I always ask them, "Can I be a warlock?" And then they go, "Yes, Maura." And you can have your deity be Cthulhu. I'm like, yeah! I could have the big wet boy
Can I be-
all to my magic
Can I
self.
be chaotic neutral? Can I be chaotic neutral, please?
Reid, what do you think that you would be?
Probably like a paladin or something like that. Probably something simple and like.
Oh my god.
Straightforward.
Okay, so
I like it.
Yeah.
they just my order, the one I paid $14 for, the one that actually
Back to the Uber Eats.
is canceled. Like so, I'm getting that $14 back.
What?
It's like I never bought food.
You just-
So you
you
just
just got-
basically got 2 orders of food and both
For
For
free.
Dang.
What
Live
the
on the high
fuck?
life right there.
Yeah, damn.
Oh my
Uber
gosh.
Eats.
$14.37 back in my PayPal. There we go. I like
Uber
that.
Eats for
That sound
everyone.
bad.
Good job, Uber Eats.
Oh,
Proud of
It's
you.
good, man.
Well, honestly, Uber Eats has come in clutch. Like, the amount of times I've, like, during finals, that I've just been like,
Mhm.
fuck it, I'll just get Uber Eats. Because I already have the Uber app on my phone for getting from my apartment to the
approaching
airport. Because,
The platinum
oh
membership.
my god, the amount of times I fucking flew fall semester last year was ridiculous. I think I flew like 6 times in the span of 1 week.
Holy crap!
It was
Jeez.
I'm 100
ridiculous.
points away
I'm
from
one of the
platinum.
best. Well, I like to think this. I like to think that I'm one of the best people to fly with. I know just about every airport in the United States like the back of my hand.
I don't like airports. They give me anxiety.
My anxiety's always like
it's just
my
like,
anxiety's always
it's just
cranked
like
up
there's so
to
many
11
people-
up until
too many
security.
people to not trust.
Oh,
There's just too many people to not trust.
bro, I put in headphones and I just
Airport.
put on like the nastiest resting bitch face I can muster, and people just like it's like the C's part for me. And I'm like, don't think I'm angry. Like I've got my music in, and I'm just like I'm in the zone. I'm tunnel vision. I'm like I'm going to my gate. I'm gonna get on my plane so that way I can get to Denver or to San Antonio or to fucking LA or Seattle or wherever the fuck I'm going.
Yeah. I mean, when you travel, like at least for me, the key asset is just a good pair of like headphones or something like that, or like
yes,
good videos, good
100%,
podcast,
and
or
a good
like
playlist.
some TV show, or some sort of entertainment.
Yeah,
To like
good
last
stuff
you.
downloaded to your phone or your tablet or
Or
whatever.
even just like headphones to like noise cancel. That way you can like focus on reading a book or something like that.
Would y'all rather do the 14-hour car drive, but like a big car, like a decent sized car, you have your room, or let's see, I don't know how long the 14-hour.
Well, let's see. How about how about a
plane ride?
16-hour drive versus about a 3-hour flight?
Oh, the 3-hour flight is
I'll take the
much
drive, man.
easier.
I'll
I've
take
done
the-
a lot.
I'll take the drive, man.
I've done
I
a
like
lot of
drives.
16-hour drives and for traveling purposes, and like you just get tired of them after a while. The 3-hour
Yeah.
flight is much easier, for me at least, than doing a 16-hour drive. 100%.
I agree. Well, because like that, the reason why I use that analogy is because I know that travel time. Because it's about a 3-hour flight, 3.5-hour flight from San Antonio to Denver. Because my dad's in San Antonio, and then my mom's in Wyoming, but Denver's the closest airport. And then from Cheyenne, Wyoming to San Antonio, Texas, that is a 16-hour drive.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, there's a whole lot of nothing between, like even going through Colorado and New Mexico and Texas. There's a whole lot of nothing.
Well,
It's
just
it's strange.
it takes so long
But-
to get out of Texas because Texas is just so big.
You can drive an entire day and still be in Texas.
Like it's the most frustrating thing ever, like traveling to Florida or something like that. Like it'll take forever to get out of
Yeah.
Texas, and then you just kind of fly across to Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, and
Yeah,
and
you
then
go
you
to
get to
every other
Georgia
state
and you
so
just get like
fast.
stuck in that panhandle forever, and it's just like Texas and Florida. Those are kind of rough states to travel through because you just feel like you're there forever.
Mm-hmm.
So,
It's just ridiculous. I'm on the fence when it comes to that flight or the drive. Because, like, I can do, like, a drive to the destination because, like, my excitement is what keeps me awake and keeps me going. But then, like, the drive home, it's like, oh my god, kill me. And, like, I like flying and everything, but it's, like, dealing with, like, checking a bag or just, like, getting a bag through security in general. Like, one time, like, I didn't even know that they would happen, but I went through the airport in Lubbock one time, and the scanner x-ray thing for carry-on bags, it went off on my pepper spray.
all right.
And they had to confiscate it, and they're like, oh, because you could spray the pilot. And I'm like, do you really think I just want to get home, dude?
What do I have to gain? What do I have to gain from spraying this pilot?
What do I have to gain from spraying this pilot? I already paid out the ass for this ticket. I just want to go home.
Yeah.
But fine,
Is there
take my
somebody
pepper
important on this
spray.
plane?
It's because it's an aerosol.
Oh, yeah.
Is what they told me, and I was like, that's a bunch of
That's
bullshit.
just like
You
a
can't
lot of
make a
different
bomb.
excuses they can go with for confiscating it.
I know. Oh, and the thing is, like, I had gotten it through that airport like three other times.
Oh, really?
And through the Denver airport.
Yeah, I've been through the Lubbock airport once, and it was going back for, I think, your Christmas break or something like that. And it wasn't like too bad, but it's a little wacky.
It's
I
so
don't know.
strange. Like, I understand why they do it, but it's also just like, man, I just want to go home.
Yeah.
It's like 7 a.m. Because like that's like the only time that you can get a direct flight from Lubbock to Denver.
Oh, really?
Otherwise, you gotta stop in Dallas, or you gotta stop in Austin or in Las Vegas.
Huh.
It's ridiculous. There's like one straightaway flight, and so like
Oh,
gotta leave my apartment at like 5:30 in the
you're
morning.
saying you'd go from Lubbock to Las Vegas to Denver?
Yeah, it makes no sense to me.
That's insane. That's pretty
It's
nuts.
ridiculous.
Just free chip
It's-
to Las Vegas, I guess.
Yeah, honestly. I'm not a big fan of the Las Vegas airport because like there's areas where you can smoke and like I don't have asthma, but I had
I do.
I had RSV like when I was like 1 year old, and so my lungs are sensitive to like cigarette smoke and to certain like aerosols and stuff. So I just don't like that airport. I don't really like going to the Dallas airport, but I'll go to the Dallas airport over the Austin airport any day.
Oh, really?
Because in the words of Bernie Burns, the Austin airport is fucking always under construction in some capacity.
All right.
And I hate it.
What I find funny about the Austin airport is just how how promotion heavy they are of like the 3 universities in Texas. I mean, it's literally just divided between like UT, A&M, and then like there's some Texas Tech in there, and it's just like it's one of the funniest things ever because you'll walk out of a terminal and depending on where you are, it's just like, are you in the Aggie country of the airport or are you in the Longhorn country or like the Raider country?
Oh,
And it's like,
right?
because I remember when I was getting picked up at the Austin airport once, I like walked out of the terminal and everything like that, and it was just a bunch of Aggie banners all over the place. But then like inside the airport, it's just like Longhorn stuff everywhere.
Oh, Jesus.
And there's all sorts of people with like Red Raider gear all over the place. And I'm like, what the hell is this?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
College campus.
it was one of the craziest experiences I've ever seen at an airport in a sense.
Yeah.
Ow! Ow, my cat scratched the crap.
Wait, which cat is it? Is it the cat that you took on a walk?
Yeah.
How did...
He just climbed up my leg. Just forcibly just
Oh.
climbed up my leg like it's some kind of wall of vines.
How do you walk your cat? Do you put like a little harness on them?
Yeah, I have a little. Yeah, I have a little.
It's just such a
body
weird
harness
like
for her.
novelty to me is walking a cat. Cause like
She like I would let her on the balcony, and then like one day she escaped, but like she didn't really escape. She kind of just like stayed outside, and then I took her outside, and like I just walked outside with her, and then I ordered a harness, and now I just walk her.
Yeah, see, it just seems odd to me because, like, I don't know, I've only been really around dogs more or less, or like the people I've known have had cats, never done anything like that. But I mean, it makes sense. Like, I mean, it's an animal, it's gonna have some energy, I mean, it probably just wants to burn
Yeah.
some or at least go outside,
Yeah, they like. I mean, most of the time she'll just lay in the grass, like
Yeah.
like, soak up the sun. You know, I mean, she does it inside too, but like I feel
it
like
hits different
sun through a
outside.
window is way different. Yeah, and like in the grass and all that too, it's way
definitely.
different.
Yeah. There's something to be said about like boredom with pets and whatnot. Like with Ranger, my our family dog, he's a lab, and he just, if I don't take him for a walk at least like now he's just trained. Like if I don't take him for a walk at least once a day, he's bored and he's just in your face. It's annoying, but it's also like I feel the same way you do when I'm pent in the house.
Yeah.
And I'm fortunate enough that like even though I'm technically not supposed to do it, there's like areas of land that like I'll take him and I'll take him off the leash and I just let him go. I keep the leash on me because if I see someone else like with their dog, then like I'll call him back. But he's usually pretty good about staying like 5 to 6 feet in front of me. But
Yeah, I think my cat's just like scared of the unknown. That's why she stays so close.
I mean,
to
there's
me.
also,
Like she'll leave, but
I mean, it
she'll
might
stay so
not be a
close.
fear factor. It could just be on also like loyalty or trust factor. Like they just want to be by
Yeah,
your
or
side,
that.
and they trust you to be there. And it gives them comfort.
Well, I've had her since like birth. Like she's never, like she went straight from like birth to like the kennel, and then I got her like 2 days
oh
later.
damn.
and then like she's never seen another dog in person. She's only seen one other cat, which is the cat I have in person. So like, I don't know. She just doesn't know the world. Like she doesn't know. She doesn't know things. So I don't know. It's like different.
I mean, it.
But I mean, I also don't like if cats are born with instincts and all that. You know, like
Yeah,
their
well, I mean,
instincts.
there
So
are
I feel
I don't
like
some
know.
to the
cats that are
level.
like very defensive and protective of like their owners, you know. And so like I mean, you
Mm-hmm.
might have
Hmm.
that trust and, you know, that cat might have that level of comfort with you.
Yeah. Like, there's definitely something to be said about like dogs and cats, and like when you've had them for that long. Like we've had Ranger since he was 6 weeks old, and like he's 10 now. And whenever we take him out on a
Dang.
walk, like the reason why he'll go like I think the furthest I've seen him go is like 8 feet, but he always loops back around and checks on me, and then he'll go back again. It's it's
Hmm.
interesting seeing how animals will like interact and behave with like their quote unquote like owners, but it's also kind of like I
Hmm.
feel like it's also to a degree like a mentality that it's like they don't really there's no other animals in the house or whatever, so like you're like an animal in like their pack or whatever.
Yeah, we're like their mom, like you're like their dad, or like you raise
Yeah,
them, you feed
Yeah.
them, you know.
I don't know.
But that's also why I got another cat because like she was just alone. So the other cat we got, we saved her. Okay, so that's kind of messed up. The owner we got her from said like she didn't want to take care of this cat, or she couldn't take care of her anymore. And then we like go take Momo. We have Momo now, and then like on her Snapchat, we see that she has another cat. Like, okay, you just wanted another cat. You just didn't want to take care of this cat.
Wow.
So like, and they act way different. Like Momo's like super like shy, and like she'll get scared, and she's like very defensive. Like she's kind of like very what's the
Skittish.
word? Yeah, very skittish. She doesn't like loud noises. She doesn't like being picked up. Like she's just very leave me alone. Like don't bother me. I'm just a
I
cat.
gotcha.
Yeah.
That's pretty
Well,
interesting because like cats are such a weird like I want to say weird, but they're very interesting because
They're
like
weird.
their personalities
Hmm.
just vary so much. And I mean, the same can be said for dogs, but I mean, I've always just been more around dogs to where it's like kind of like second nature on how they, you know, kind of act between breeds.
Yeah.
And I've never really
yeah.
I
been by cats. So like
I feel like for
it's always interesting when I like will talk to someone about their cat or something like that and they'll, you know, talk about their personalities and
mhm.
how like it's there's kind of a wide array of like how they can act. They can either be like cruel or super shy and quiet, reserved, or like super in your face and such like that. Cause like, yeah,
Or loud
yeah, cause
and
like
talking
at
really
least for
quiet.
me, like I grew up, you know, without cats. I grew up with dogs and everything like that. And so like my experience of cats were always just kind of like the mainstream of like they'll stay away from you. They're not really like affectionate and all this stuff, you know. And like the more I got to know people with cats, it was like, wait a second, that's not really how it is for most cats. I would say, you know, like some of them are
Yeah.
extremely affectionate and they just like won't leave your side.
Hmm. Yeah, my cat's a dog.
Yeah,
My cat is a dog. I walk her. She like barks, meows in the morning to wake me up. All that. Yeah, she's definitely a dog for the most part. She like even like she does like the dog thing. You know, when you pet your dog like flips
yeah.
over and like wants you to rub his stomach.
Mm-hmm.
And my cat does that. Like even when I'm not petting her, she'll just run up to me, lay down on the ground, and roll over and like look at me upside down, wanting me to rub her
It's a
stomach.
trap.
She must have got that dog software updated. I must have forgot to.
Yeah,
Yeah,
installed
forgot to give her the cat
that new OS.
software.
They gave her
That's
the
funny.
wrong programming at birth. All right. Well, we're nearing the end of this episode. Do you guys have any final things you want to say?
Yeah,
Been great.
pleasure being on.
Very nice talk. Nice chatting we've been having.
All right. Well, thank you for joining me, you guys.
Yes,
Thank
of
you.
course. Thank you for having
Of
me.
course. And for our audience, thank you so much for listening. Do the YouTube things, subscribe, ring the bell, like it. If you think someone else you know might like our podcast, please share it. Get the good word out. Yeah, we'll see you next time.